haunted. I don't know, I don't know if this is really a ghost story or not. But Peter Faneuil was not a good man. He inherits all his money from his uncle, and his uncle's only requirement for him to inherit everything was that he could never get married. So he was not a good man, made most of his money in the slave trade. He's a philanderer, has illegitimate children all over the place. He died in 1743, but in 1740, he had an epiphany, records it in his diary. And he had a dream that the ghost of his Uncle Andrew appeared to him, showed him all the horrible things he's done, and then showed him this is why nobody likes you now. Then showed him a dark doorway and said, that's your future. So he changed his life, split his estate in half. He gave half of it to Benjamin's family, his brother, who inherited nothing. The other half, he bought up all his land, and he built the original Faneuil Hall and donated it to the city of Boston. Now, does his story sound familiar at all?
Yeah.
What? I can't hear you. No?
No.
Well, there was a famous author that lived in Boston in the 1860s. His name was Charles Dickens. And he based the Christmas Carol partially on Peter Faneuil. Peter Faneuil was Ebenezer Scrooge. That's where the story comes from. So at one point on the tour, I'm going to show you where Charles Dickens lived. Now, just to give you a little background about what this tour is made up of, Boston is the hometown of Nathaniel Hawthorne, who wrote a lot of ghost stories. H.P. Lovecraft wrote a lot of ghost stories. Charles Dickens lived here. The only ghost story he ever wrote, he wrote while he lived here. All these people are, involved in this thing. This is one of the oldest inhabited cities in North America, so it's no shock this is one of the most haunted places on the East Coast, at least. So we're going to start by heading up this direction.